So this is part 2 of the video where I'm painting my feelings from day to day. Now, not really painting my feelings in a sense, and when I started this painting, I had zero thought behind, what kind of theme do I want to do? Is there kind of a challenge I want to do or a theme for the painting or the video? I just kind of started painting and wanted to see what would come to me, but it was kind of interesting. If you watch the first part, day 1 I was in a good mood just starting the painting. Day 2, super frustrated. My car's transmission fully blew out right before a move, and I kind of noticed as I was editing that second day that the painting was completely different in day 2 and the shapes and colors that I was adding than day 1. So I thought that'd be kind of a cool theme to kind of continue with and see how I'm feeling each of the days that I'm painting this one. Just as a little recap, day 1, I was excited, happy to be painting, kind of just feeling good about everything. Day 2, super frustrated. And then day 3, I was kind of back at it, feeling pretty good. Now, this is day 4 we're on. And I don't know what it is, just literally nothing. Like, I'm not frustrated, I'm not excited, I'm just tired. So, because sometimes you don't have to pinpoint it or try and be like, I'm feeling this, or I'm tired because I'm sad, or I'm overworked, or anything like that. It just is what it is, and it'll be interesting to see kind of what aspects I have in the painting, if there's anything different. When I was first starting, I definitely was just adding a few kind of details and areas that I thought would look cool. Like I mentioned, I'm tired, not really thinking about much, not really feeling much, just kind of putting in cool shapes. But then about an hour into painting on day 4 here, I kind of get my energy back. And I noticed I was kind of looking at different little parts and getting more of that creative spark. Right here, I'm still just kind of adding in shapes and aspects just for the sake of it, which isn't bad. I mean, these are ones I was going to do anyways, but I wasn't really fully into it. Sometimes when I'm painting, I just can't put the painting down and 5 hours will fly by. And I thought that this one would be one of the days where I just do an hour or two and move on, but I kind of started getting a few aspects that I was happy with, like even this little kind of factory looking thing. Started with a little shape, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to make it into a factory, add some windows, and I have a few other aspects throughout this painting that kind of gives it that kind of pollution-y, factory, kind of trippy theme, which was totally not planned out, and kind of got excited about those and started adding in little areas, and even this little face. Decided to do the white mouth instead of black. Usually I do kind of details within the face as a black outline, but just added white, and doing the same here for this little nose. So we'll kind of see how it goes, but so far it's looking good and kind of getting more creativity flowing right now. I wanted to add this little kind of detail to make the house look a little bit cracked and have some kind of cracks going through. Then I saw another area where I could do that with the same color in the painting within the painting. So doing that, I think it's cool kind of difference. Sometimes when I'm filling space, I just have some arrows, but I like switching it up, switching up different designs. I'm doing a little more lining just to see what elements are popping or which ones I need to add something to. And then I went back and forth about what colors to have the dots on the road. I thought that burgundy would be good. Looks good with the dark blue and that kind of brown color. And maybe I'll add another one, I'm not too sure. But still just adding more detail, adding this little volcano type shape. and just kind of filling in spaces and seeing what colors look good with each other. A few years ago, I probably would have ended this painting on day 2 or 3 and not really focused on the extra little details, but I like trying out new details and filling up all the spaces I can. I'm trying these little like electrical poles to go with that, I don't know, kind of like pollution-y industrial theme. And I'm gonna do this in another part of the painting, but kind of just a cool way to fill space and add an extra detail to look at. I want to add some more colors within these little doodles. Sometimes I just have one color, but I thought a kind of gray would look good, kind of leaking into the factory, or then outlining this eye and the little face within a face with more gray. Sometimes I forget to use gray other than streets, and it's actually a nice little color just to add texture. It doesn't really necessarily need to pop out all that much, especially on darker colors, but it's kind of a fun little color to use to give it a bit of a different kind of color scheme. Something I've been doing more in recent paintings is adding little kind of like monster head or shape where I see it. So this kind of line naturally worked out for that, and I'll come back to that and add in some more details. But I'm just mainly trying to use all the space I can, whether it's planned out details or little ways that I see the paint drying or colors and shapes that go together that I can make a larger element or a smaller element within. And yeah, just kind of going through and seeing what opportunities and spaces I have. Near the end of the painting, I'm going to go through all the little spots that don't have anything and just give more and more detail. I sometimes am worried about it being over cluttered, but I don't think it would be too over cluttered with a painting of this size, so I'm just going to kind of keep trying with it. Also, it's fully allergy season here, so if my voice is kind of cracking a little bit, that is why. So now I'm going in and going back to that little kind of monster shape face that I had, and I'm gonna paint the teeth and the eyes white, or then go in and fill in the eye with a different color. I'm still deciding what to do with the blue around it, and in this little red part, I'm just adding, I've been liking doing these little odd shaped houses or buildings and kind of just doing some color layering on it. So I'll come back to that, and I still need to pick something with the red around it to give it another color. Kind of like what I'm doing here with the blue and the white. I need to find something for the red. Sometimes it's tough. I usually do black, but I'll probably do a purple or a blue and see if it clashes with anything around it. Then, I don't know what this was. I was gonna do a spaceship, but I kind of like it as something else. Then now I'm adding just more of those kind of electricity poles. Kind of fun. And then I'm gonna add like a little line kind of connecting them all. So this is wrapping up the 4th day. I like the amount of detail that I put into it, and I still have a lot more to do. And definitely got the ball rolling on some of the other details that I'm gonna do to finish it up. But I'm happy with how it's looking so far. And there's a few areas that I still need to think more about, but I'm happy with the colors and the aspects and the spacing. So now I'm on to the 5th day of painting this painting. This is the final day where I finish it up. And I'm just putting in some of these details, like adding these lines, these little power lines that I did, but then mainly going and seeing any areas that are looking a little bit plain, without a texture, without a detail. I am feeling the same way as yesterday, just kind of tired, not energetic, not happy, not sad, just kind of just tired and painting, and that's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. So we'll see how that kind of affects the designs and kind of doodles and feeling of the painting. I don't think it'll make a huge difference for this final day because I'm just doing these extra details that sometimes don't take a ton of creativity. I find the main creative parts where you can really tell a difference on my mood are the first and second days, or that kind of first half of the painting, where a lot of the colors and the kind of mood of the painting is set. But this day I'm just going in, doing these lines, going to add some more details to these little buildings that I'm doing. And it is interesting because you don't think that these little details, little dots, little colors, little textures make a ton of a difference. But when you look at a photo of before doing about 2 hours of this, and then after, it does kind of complete the painting and something I wasn't doing before. So it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. So I mixed together a color that's like a lighter version of that brown and gold. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to add that. I was kind of stuck on what color to add around some of these aspects. I really like how it looks around this little like kind of gemstone thing. And I'm gonna put it in some other spots where I feel like it needed a bit of an extra kind of detail or look. And I kind of like that. I'll probably use that in one of my next paintings. It's kind of a cool, still nice blended color, but a little bit lighter that has some details kind of pop out a little bit more. So I was struggling on what to do in this green area, but with this color, I thought I'd just add kind of a few arrows, a few lines going through, and not really try and do anything that could clutter the painting. I do kind of like the spacing where everything is, and I don't think I want to interfere with that too much by adding another large element. So just going through, didn't know what to do around this little face in the red. So I'm going to have this kind of purple leak out into it, or then just kind of have other aspects around it kind of go into the area. I didn't want to just do little textures around it because I think with the outline of the face, it would kind of get lost. So yeah, now I'm at the part of the painting where I'm just going through and doing these final little touches that'll bring it together. So now I'm just going and doing the final outlines of stuff that I feel like needed that extra kind of layer. I wanted those to pop out a little bit more. So yeah, finally putting the final touches on this one. This one took a long time, and I didn't really feel stuck in any way. I feel like maybe on day 4, I ran out of the kind of details that I wanted to do, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because a painting only has so much space and little aspects that'll work with it. But I do like how it turned out. Let me know what you think about it, and I would also love to hear any ideas on themes that you want me to try, maybe some cool little aspects that I could try in my style, or any challenges that you want to see. So here's how it turned out. I do like it. I think it's kind of cool. It's got a bunch of details that you can look at and kind of takes your eye to different places of the painting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be putting this entire project into a time lapse as well.
Oh shit. Random.